Welcome back to Florida, where it's actually pretty damn cold. I was very surprised going from frozen Ohio, coming back here, and it's actually 40 degrees here. So I'm not any warmer than I was. The difference between the shop in Ohio and the shop here in Florida. Here, there are vents in the doors to let the hot air out. Normally, it's all warm air. So it's to let hot air out or cool air in, or however you want to do it. It's vented. In Ohio, they're sealed. So if I try to warm up this shop, this garage, it doesn't work at all. It just flows right outside. I guess I could get vent coverage for those, but they're not usually normally needed. We have a major weather anomaly happening. This big polar vortex, or whatever you want to call it, is actually freezing a lot of the country. If you're not in California and on fire, then you're over on this side of the country and you're absolutely brutally frozen. Um, hey, I didn't see who popped up. So, hey, welcome. Uh, just wanted to do a quick one. I've got a very late night tonight. I've been doing all new outlets in the house. I've also been prepping for the Daytona trip, doing laundry and packing stuff up. We are taking, show you guys really quick, if I can. Nope, because the camera won't get past my arm. We are taking that to Daytona tomorrow afternoon, and we'll be in Daytona for 4 days for the 24 hours of Daytona. Got a bunch of friends going. We'll have a really nice big group, and my friend Nick is going to be taking a ton of pictures and video and stuff, so I'll try and get some of that stuff over to you guys, and I'll try and do lives from there. If I get a chance to do some cool technical stuff with any of the teams or drivers or crews or anything, I will definitely pop live. So it might be kind of middle of the day or even 3 o'clock in the morning. So kind of heads up on that. There's tons of activities, tons of other events. There's this midnight club thing that we're going to, and God, I can't remember what else. Got our parking pass today, so we're infield parking in the show with all of the Haggerty folks, which are all these elite cars. They're not like the racing historics, but they're all like super nice cars like the Viper. And then we got our Airbnb sorted out, which is actually a Verbo. And then Katie and Taryn are on their way. I think they left probably half an hour ago. So they've got a hell of a drive. Picking up Berg tomorrow. We'll probably, on Facebook and Instagram, I'll definitely do a live on the drive over to Daytona. So hop over there and you'll probably see that. Thanks to everyone who's subscribed to this channel and you guys watch it regularly. I know going back and forth between Ohio and Florida has been rough, and you guys have been patient with me and all of that stuff. I'm still working on parts for the Miata. So I figured we would do something kind of quick tonight, at least to keep going on the project and keep it moving, so that not only am I motivated, but also hopefully you guys are motivated too. So give me a second to move you guys over there, grab a light, and I'm going to put some gloves on because it is cold. It's 50 degrees here in the garage. So very much not what we're used to. So give me a second to find some gloves. Actually, these guys will work. These guys will work just fine. I'm trying not to trip over my car. The other good news is the Viper's pretty clean, so I don't have to do a ton of cleaning on it. It's been clean since for the last week or so. Plus, I didn't drive it. So I have about 90% of the steering rack out of the Miata. I just want to show you guys a couple of the things that are necessary in order to completely remove the rack. We don't have to pull the tie rod ends. Take them off of the steering rack. we're just going to release them from the spindles. And then the two main mounting brackets and then the hoses. And I'll get down there and I'll kind of show you guys where those are. Or hopefully thoroughly show you guys where they are. So let me grab this and we will attach him to a brake rotor. I'll get you guys down here with me. So I apologize for the shaky. Not what I want. We're also trying this on the iPad, so it's a little more portable. That's why you guys aren't getting notifications on a ton of stuff, is because the mobile platform is not quite as robust as the regular Mac platform. And I got to find a better way. The Mevo Pro stuff is not working, and there's almost no support for it. So I still have a few tools down here. Oh, there's my other set of gloves. I found them. So I'm going to hop down here. I'm just going to lay down here. That'll be easier. And let me grab the light so you guys can kind of see what we're doing. You can see that the rack is off. Let me pull you around here. There we go. Now you kind of see what I see. So here are our two main steering rack mounts. And we have our brackets off. We took that off last time. This is our steering rack. And he's actually just held on to the spindles up there. You can see up here, almost. There you go, Kev. Good shot. He's held right here on both sides, except that he's off over there because I've already taken that one off. So the only other thing holding him up right now is this hose. So when I take off this high pressure line, which you guys cannot see. Okay, let's try this again. This hose is what's holding him up on this side. This is our high pressure line. So up on top, underneath the hood, he is attached. I'll take you guys up there. He is attached to the power steering pump. And this is all of our high pressure. This is a few hundred PSI. And that's the difference between the high pressure lines. That's why these are hard lines. And the low pressure lines, which are usually rubber. Or just soft rubber. They're not braided. So we're going to take this one off up in the engine bay. He goes all the way up to the power steering pump up in the engine bay. And then we're going to come back and we're going to take the nut off of that spindle because we already have this side off. And because if I take this nut off and then lower that power steering unit, he's just going to drop to the ground. We don't want that. So we can gently set him. This sucks because there's not a wide enough view to do both at the same time. We don't want to drop him. So we're going to gently set him on the ground with the releasing the hose. And then we'll come over and he'll already be down and then we'll do the nut there. So we can take this light, put him back on charge once he falls. So give me a second to prop the hood up and get you guys into position. Yeah, like I said, this will be kind of a quick one tonight. Also because we didn't get parts while we were in Ohio. My parts dealer is not feeling well, so I didn't get any parts while I was up there, which kind of sucks because I need parts. Put that on charge. Pull this guy off charge. Get him hanging up there and sort of shining down. Okay, now I'm going to bring you guys up to the engine bay. Let's see if we can get you positioned decently where you can kind of see what I'm doing. Maybe. Probably not. Possibly. Oh, this is so sketchy. Okay, well, we're going to do it that way. You guys cannot see that, and I'm just going to kick all these tools around. All right, let me figure out a way to get you guys in there where you can see this. Oh, this is really difficult. Okay, so he needs to come over here. Oh my gosh. This is where a laptop is considerably better. So here is our high pressure line right here. And he is just finger tight. Well, I thought he was finger tight, but he's going to get loosened up and then we're going to slowly lower the line. Okay. So let me figure out how to prop you up. This is going to take a second. This is just not conducive to this. Oh, wait, maybe I can, hang on a sec. Let's see. This might actually work. This might work if I can find 2 extra points to balance on and not have this in the way. This is really difficult. There's no really good, whoa, sorry. There's no really good mounting point here for any of this. And where is our line? Nope, not there. He basically needs to lay flat. So, but he needs to be further away, which is funny. Okay, maybe, whoop, sorry. So now he lays perfectly flat. And of course, he is literally just out of frame. That's where he's balanced. Okay. Hang on, I'm getting there. Like I said, I've never done this before, so. Now, because of the pad, he wants to nope. He wants to just fall. And then on the other side, he wants to, you know what? Actually, we can see the floor down here too, which is cool. Where? Down there. So yeah, let's just do this. There we go. Of course he's going to fall, right? Yeah. All right. Well, sorry, that's about as close as I can get. I apologize. So this is our guy we're going to take off. And he is finger tight. If I pull up on the hose, if I pull vertically on this, he releases it. Oh, and he just popped off. That was the last thread. So this guy is a hook. Now I can just lower him nice and smooth all the way to the ground. He doesn't drop. And then I can push this stuff out of the way so he doesn't hook on the AC lines or anything else while we're under the car, because that's always such a pain. So he's totally clear now. This is the top of our power steering line. If we really want to, we can plug this up or put a cap on it. I'm just going to put a piece of tape on there just so we don't get contaminants or anything else in there. So give me a second to grab some Top A, which is French, because we only use the best materials here. And it's one of those, it's kind of whatever whatever you've got to help protect it is going to be good. So We are going to put some tape over the top and then wrap this around kind of tight, fold it over. Now nothing can get in there. It's also a cool reminder of where hoses go, right? So it's kind of like putting screws back in the bolt holes you took them out of. All right, let's go back under the car, and I'll take these off again. So bring you guys back underneath the car. I'm gonna switch the camera back again. There we go. It is so zoomed in. Okay, so might actually be better to do it this way. No, it's not. It's not. I apologize. Let me switch around again. Hey, there's my Yeti bag. There's me. Okay, so bring you guys out a little bit so you can see a little bit more. Hopefully that looks okay. Hopefully. I know it's not a very good view. Cameras on the iPads are not all that great. They really are kind of just for meetings. They're not for shooting anything like this. Okay, so we have our steering rack resting on the ground on this side. I'm going to take out our hose, make sure he's clear. You can see our hose is down off of the frame. This is one of the ones we're going to be replacing. So we're going to be replacing this one, and then you can't really see it back here. I'll fold it around in a minute. But what we do have to take care of is this guy, which of course isn't a wide enough shot to see. So what we have here is our tie rod, which goes to our steering rack. And this is our spindle or upright. And I'm not going to reach around the car this whole time. So I'm going to come over to this side. So we have to get this tie rod out. Now, some are vertical. Or sorry, some are top mount and some are low mount. This is a low mount one, which means it comes out from the bottom. Now, the good part is you can tell the suspension's all been powder coated, so everything's been cleaned, lubed, and everything else. These are usually very difficult to remove. They get in there, there's corrosion that happens in there, especially on an Ohio vehicle. These are usually very, very difficult to remove. You'll need an impact to take the nut off the top. Usually this is a castle nut too, especially if it's a top mount. It'll have a castle nut with a little cotter pin. Take that out. You'll usually have to use an impact because this will spin inside this ball joint here. So if you have an impact, it sort of bypasses the spin and helps it get out of there. This one, fortunately, was powder coated. It's very easy. A couple of other tips to getting these out of spindles is lube the shit out of this. So use some deep creep, use some PB Blast or whatever you have to, some rust release penetrant, whatever, in there. Let it sit for an hour or so to get in there. The other thing you can do is, if you have old ones, you can hammer on this to break that corrosion loose. This is usually cast iron. You can hammer on that. Now, I'm not going to hammer on this because this is a really nice powder coat that was very expensive. So I'm not going to hammer on it. Now, when you go to put these together, and I'll repeat this. Now, this one is obviously loose. I got it out a little while ago. So the nut comes off. This is a nylock nut, which is different than the, I don't know if you guys can see that little blue nylon in there. That's different than the castle nuts. This guy comes straight up. Now he is cone shaped. This guy is, so when you tighten him up, he goes in there tighter and grips tighter. When you go to put this back together, suggestion, get on there. This is hard to do with the weird light. My suggestion, clean this thoroughly. Clean inside here thoroughly, inside your spindle. Clean it as best you can. Then use anti-seize in here or in here when you put it back together. Make sure you torque this to spec. Make sure you get it super tight. But if you have the anti-seize in there, when you need to take it apart, not if, when you need to take it apart, it'll come apart a lot easier. You have some kind of protectant in there to help protect the metal from corroding, corroding together. It actually becomes a chemical bond, which is pretty terrifying. So we have our steering rack completely out of there with our tie rods. These are, I don't remember, these tie rods are probably 5 or 6 years old, maybe 6 years old. So I replaced these a while back, but the ball joints, they're nice and stiff, which is what you want. You want it to be kind of difficult to turn these. That means it's a nice tight ball joint. And also, this is a good sign too. If it just falls, that means you have a faulty tie rod and you're going to have to replace these in here. Not a huge issue, but tie rods are not very expensive, but they are very important, especially for steering, especially. So now our spindle kind of moves whatever. The other good part is we're not really messing with our alignment because we're not changing any of these. We're not adjusting our tie rods in or out. So when we put this back together, we're still going to have the same alignment. As long as we get our mounting, main mounting bolts for the rack correct, we're going to have the exact same alignment. So we don't really have to worry about that. That's the good part. Let's get this steering rack back, and I'll see if I can get a wide enough shot to show you guys the entire rack. So I know that sounds like an OnlyFans thing, but all right. Let's see. See, I don't have the leverage to do this the other way. So we're going to get it out from underneath the car so that we have much better access to it. Okay. Oh, yeah. And I just like paint myself into a corner. I should say part myself into a corner. Cool. We have much better access to all of these hard lines, which is a really good thing. So we're going to get these all cleaned up. And if we can, we'll TBL them. So let me grab the iPad and bring this around so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Actually, just do this and then come over here. Okay. There we go. So here's our steering rack. You can see we have our two main pressure lines. One here, one here. That's just a union block, 90-degree block. This is our main return hose. This is our main high pressure line. And then where is our... Where's the... Oh, the secondary return hose from the pump is up. The overflow is up already, up there. So those are our mains. And these lines you can see, it's a little... Maybe if I put light on it, you'd be able to see it. Yeah, well, okay, that's a little bit much. There we go. That's a little bit better. So you can see the corrosion here. You can see the corrosion in the fittings. You can see the corrosion on the cap here for the rack. And you can't see it on the edge here because this camera's too tight. And also on the fitting down here. So corrosion happens everywhere. I mean, you see it up here. And this nut has been trying, I've been trying to take it off, and he's stripped a little bit, but it's not really all that crucial. We need to replace the whole line. But here you can see, this is a really good example of what happens. And this is probably our biggest problem is all of this stuff just eats away. This is just corrosion that just eats away at all of your metal. So the rest of the rack actually looks to be in really good shape. God, this thing is so zoomed in. Our U-joint is okay. We will clean a bunch of that stuff out up there, up here at our universal joint for our column. We'll clean a ton of that stuff out with a brush, Dremel, and get him TBL'd. This is a seal cover. He just stays right there. He's just a plastic cover. And we don't really need to take him out. We can clean out underneath him. And this is the line that we're going to be replacing. This one, I believe, has a leak on the back side here where the corrosion is just eaten through. So that line's going to get replaced. We're going to take all these off, get them cleaned up. All the other ones here, which of course the camera is not showing. So this guy, we'll get all of these cleaned up, and we will probably TBL, because you can see the finish is coming off here. We'll probably TBL this whole thing just to protect it from further corrosion. That's kind of it. It's a protective thing, and then we can also do the tie rods. It's not a bad idea to protect those. Now again, we'll have a brand new hose here for our main high pressure hose. We'll have these hoses, when they come off, they will get TBL'd, and then this one, so your send and your other send, and then this will all get TBL'd. We only TBL up to the crimp mark on the hoses, just to, so we don't have any leaks with TBL in there. God, that feels terrible. It might actually be leaking. No, this back here is where it's worn out. It's really hard to see too. That's why I didn't get replaced sooner, because it's really hard to find. And all this stuff is packed behind a frame rail. So if you can imagine like a frame rail back there, now how the hell do I get to that thing, right? So if he's like this, how the hell do I get a wrench in here to try and, take any of those off? That's why it's easier just to take the entire rack off and do your stuff out here, then put the rack back in. God, I wish this thing would zoom out. Take the rack off, then put it back in. This camera is so zoomed in. It's not the right focal length for doing stuff like this. Anyway, all right, so that's kind of it for tonight. There's not a whole lot I can do without parts. Can't forget what we're actually doing here, right? So I'm going to lower the hood and then bring you guys back up here. My nose is running. Okay. So flip the camera back around. Here, I'll just go up here. Yeah, that's perfect. Now you guys can stare at the... This is so dumb. There's no way for it to hold right there. I don't know, maybe there is. If you guys are patient with me, I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to do this stand. Nice roof, yeah. Sorry, man. I'm trying to figure out how to do this where I can't. There's not a good way to do this at all, where it actually looks down a little bit. Not without, I don't know, does that? I'm trying to get creative. We're seeing, oh, nope, just falls away right there. There's no way to do magnetized or anything. Nope. So here we go. No. I'm trying, you guys. I swear I am. No, all he wants to do is fall. Wait. I have these crackers from American Airlines. They were in my backpack. All right, hang on. Hang on. Let's see if we can do this. No, nope. Does anyone to? Oh, wow. All right. Oh my God, you guys. All right, all right, all right, all right. Maybe. Oh, come back here. All right. I swear I'm trying. This whole thing is magnetic. I'm trying, you guys. It does not want to balance. Is there a little bit of headroom here? This is so dumb. I don't know why I'm using this versus the tripod. I was just trying to get you guys in closer, and this camera and this mount does not work at all. And there's no way to use the other. There's no way to mount that. It's like, I'll just use the phone as an example. So you have this, and all it wants to do is fall over. It just wants to fall face first. If you tilt it back, then all you guys do is look at the ceiling. And the mount is made to tilt back so that you're in a Zoom meeting and everyone's looking at your ceiling. It's not made to be up high and look down low like into engine bays or anything like that. And there's no way to hold it in this position, in a vertically down position. So I'm doing the best I can with it propped up against the toolbox. It's just not, it's not really made for that. I have another idea. Let me try this. And a lot of the cover is actually magnetic. There, that goes onto the floor. Oh crap, of course there's a ton of stuff in the way here. So if I come over here and do something like that, yeah, there's no way to keep it. Get him one from Temu. All right, all right. That's a little bit better, but it's a matter of just a little bit of an angle down. Otherwise, you guys are staring up at the ceiling. And yeah, these are my crackers from American Airlines. That's twice now. Kobe today. There we go. So yeah, that's what are you guys saying in there? O2 sensors, yeah. The Miata, actually, I think the O2 sensors in the Miata are okay. I replaced them probably 2 years ago. We've only got about 10,000 miles on it, a little less, maybe 8,000 miles on it. So O2 sensors should be in pretty good shape. We did that when we put the new engine in at 151,000 miles, so should be all right. That's about it for tonight. It's midnight. You guys have been great. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out tonight. God, I wish I could read those. They come through so small. And let's say, all right, you guys want to know how far away I am? Tell you exactly how far away I am from the screen. Here, look, you can see. I am 67 inches away from the screen. And YouTube puts it up in like a 10-point font. So I got to come up here. Creating crafts, so 2 cents. Okay. And then I come all the way back. And that's with my glasses on. So they don't make it easy, and there's no way to make that bigger or anything like that. So if I do this where I jump up really quick and come to it's because I'm trying to read you guys' messages, and they disappear so quickly. It's not like on the laptop platform, the chat stays, and I can scroll through and see what messages I missed. Here, shit. Wait, okay. There we go. Okay. Oh, okay. I got it. Yeah. A magnet wouldn't be a bad idea if it was on the back. The problem is it's on. This does have the tablet cover does have a magnet on it, and it is on the back, but the back part of it folds in half so that you can tripod it. So it kind of defeats the purpose. It'll either fall forward or it'll fall backwards. It doesn't have a magnet in the right spot. And it's so funny. They're like, all right, leave the chat up. And you do. And now the chat is up over in the column over here. And here it goes. And now it's gone. So that's all the time you have for the chat. They have a lot of the iPad platform leaves a lot to be desired, a lot. So hopefully they work on that and get that stuff fixed. Thank you guys very much for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. I apologize for it being so quick. Yeah, I don't think a Velcro strap or anything would really help. It's kind of odd. Let's find out about Daytona. We might have a departure update. All right. Cool. Those guys are officially on their way at it says they're going to arrive at 1:45 p.m. So they have just under 1,000 miles to go. And it says it's 14 degrees outside. Wow. That will be a serious drive. So that's good. Those people come down. I hate this. I know you guys type something and I can't see it. There we go. No 3D printer all by hand. Rethread the oxygen sensors? Yeah. We're not doing any O2 sensors, I promise. But yeah, that's actually a very good tip. When you take out the old O2 sensors, definitely throw a tap in there and clean up the threads. And also anti-seize on those as well. Hopefully that's what you were talking about, Juan, with anti-seize and using it on the tie rod ends. Anti-seize on O2 sensors is a very good idea. Unfortunately, it burns up pretty quick. Yeah. Anti-seize is okay with heat. Unfortunately, it burns up pretty quick. Plus, with the non-treated metal usually involved with exhausts, the corrosion happens almost immediately with the condensation that's in there and everything else. The heat, the condensation, hot, cold. It sort of chemically welds itself in there, and that's just part of the deal. So yeah, O2 sensors are sometimes a huge pain in the ass to get out, but they can be done. I haven't had one beat me yet. Knock on broom handle. Okay. Cool. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching tonight. I apologize it wasn't more thorough, more in-depth, or anything more major. Like I said, we're still waiting on parts for the Miata stuff. I'm going to get those in as soon as I can. Going back and forth between here in Ohio and the holidays and my parts dealer being sick and Daytona and all this other stuff, it's been difficult. So trying to get as much stuff done as possible. And you guys have been great for hanging out and enjoying this. And thanks to all the new subscribers. I saw a bunch of new subscribers last week, which is really great. I'm glad you guys are liking this stuff, and hopefully you're telling your friends about it, and we'll do a lot more cool stuff. I don't know what other projects we've got. My friend Leo has been working on his Cadillac, but he was mostly just doing dyno tuning. And I obviously don't have a dyno here. So we'll try and get some other cars in here to for you guys to check out. But definitely this weekend, I'm going to be going live from Daytona. It's going to be very odd hours. So I apologize if it's at 8 o'clock in the evening or 3 o'clock in the morning. But I want to get you guys some cool stuff from some of the amazing cars that are there. And I don't want to miss out on any of that. And I know you don't either. So I'll try and do updates. They probably won't be 20 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours. They'll probably be 5-minute clips, but I'll leave them all up on YouTube and you guys can watch them. I apologize. When it gets under 50 degrees, my nose just floods. So I'll leave them up on YouTube. You guys can check them out whenever you want. But we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff with a lot of cool cars. So that's it. If there's something you want to see at Daytona, shoot me a message. Oh, can you go by and check out the number XYZ car? Yeah, sure. We'll be in the infield, and the Viper will be parked in the infield. If you are going to Daytona, look for the Viper. Let's see, if you're facing north, we'll be over. Just look for the Haggerty car corral. That's where this car will be. And you guys have all my contact info, so shoot me a message, whatever. But this car will be over at the Haggerty car corral, and we'll be cruising around mostly in the infield, but occasionally up to the stands. So definitely shoot me a message. I'd love to hook up with you. And like I said, if there's a car you want to see, if I can get in touch with a driver, that would be cool, but probably not. They're going to be pretty damn busy all weekend. But I will try. So yeah, shoot me a message, and I'll go over to the Ferris wheel for you guys. We'll definitely do a bunch of very late night. When the cars run that late at night, it is super cool, and it's also very quiet, so you can hear the cars. So I'll try and find a really good spot where the microphones pick up the cars the best. And I'll take the gimbal, so it'll be a little bit smoother shot. It won't just be me fumbling around with everything. And we'll try and get some cool shots for you guys. So thanks again, everyone. I really appreciate it. I apologize for the delay. Like I said, the parts thing I don't really have any control over, and we'll get that taken care of when we get back from Daytona. I don't really need the Miata until it warms up too. It's 50 degrees here. It's cold. They got 10 inches of snow in Pensacola, Florida. Pensacola, Florida is where the Blue Angels practice year round. They got 10 inches of snow there. That's unbelievable. There's a shot from Destin, Florida, and there is waves lapping up on the beach that has 6 inches of snow on it. You're like, what? This is so bizarre. They haven't had snow this far south in 110 years. It's been more than a century since they've had snow this far south. So yeah, it's pretty hardcore. And like I said, Katie and Taryn were talking about driving down. Do they do 95? Do they do 75? Either one is screwed. Once you get south of Atlanta, there's a ton of snow. So yeah, you got to be pretty careful. It will be nice this weekend. We have a nice warm front coming through that'll hopefully melt everything and get things back to normal. But it's definitely cold. The whole country's feeling cold. The only place that's warm is like Key West. It's like 75. Everywhere else, way, way, way too cold. So not your normal winter. Thank you, Canada, for the deep freeze. We appreciate the reminder that you guys are still up there. Yeah, and thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. Don't forget to show someone that you love them. Give them a kiss on the cheek. Give them a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but it is far more important for you. All right, thanks everyone. I will catch you from Daytona. All right. Have fun, everyone.